what's happening here. I don't think we'll ever see a football team in Vegas, but we will see other cities continue to get pillaged by the NFL with this threat.
Yeah, but you think that the NFL wants to be in a city where UNLV couldn't keep its players out of the hot tub with the fixer? You think the league needs those problems with the desperate people that often play professional football and often officiate the games? No, they don't want that, because where are you going to be hanging out if you happen to be in Las Vegas? So this is not good for the NFL in that way. I tell you this, though, it would create a fascinating scenario, one in which you have a team that will never actually play any home games. Why not? Because if you find out your team is going to be playing a game in Vegas, that's when your weekend in Vegas is going to be. It's not a very large market. It'll wind up being out-of-towner paradise. That team will never play any home games because everybody else is going to fill up their billion-dollar stadium.
You know, I have an idea who the quarterback is going to be in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, so do I. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a bad marriage.
So were Art Schleister's on the yard trying to throw the ball through a tire.
He's going to be out there with a bottle of champagne in one hand.
What do you make of Dr. Bennett Omalu saying he'll bet his medical license that O.J. Simpson has CTE?
Omalu, I believe, is his name. He is the featured player in that Will Smith concussion movie. I think we have to rethink the way we think everything when it comes to the criminal behavior and the bad behavior and the weird behavior of professional football players. First place I went with Lawrence Phillips when there's the alleged suicide in jail, even though he had a really troubled road. And this is not how I would have thought about this even 5 years ago. Is his brain altered? Is his brain chemistry wrong? And I think with all sorts of erratic behavior, you now have to throw this into the mix and wonder, is the erratic behavior caused because football can make the occasional monster?
Well, let's be honest here. The reason that we're bringing this up right now is because of the prevalent belief that O.J. Simpson killed those people, right? Like, he's the example to throw out there, because if you would say that CTE was a cause for O.J. Simpson, then who knows what else you'd say was attributable to CTE. The reality is we're asking this question because if you asked about any football player if you thought they had CTE, I don't have a medical license, but the answer would probably be yes, and that's kind of informed by Tyler Sash, 27 years old, just dying and only played 2 years in the NFL, and his case was so bad that it was Junior Seau's level. So when you ask about any player, the answer to this is, if I had to guess, probably yes.
Here is where we're headed, by the way. If you think football is kind of on trial now in the court of public opinion, we are headed toward a day where a crime, the defense attorney is going to put football actually on trial, where the defense on some of this stuff is this behavior was caused because this sport made this guy hit his head too often.
You have been distracted by Michael Phelps.
Okay, so Arizona State, they got this whole curtain of distraction thing, right? When your team's not very good at basketball, you got to make the games entertaining for yourself. So they have this curtain that's under the basket. When the opposite team shoots free throws, they bring things out from under the curtain to distract them, and this time they use Michael Phelps.
This is so great, Bomani. I mean, the gold medals, the swimming gesture he's about to partake in.
So there's a few things that are going on here, right? Number one, this only really distracts if the free throw shooter looks up and is like, hey, is that Michael Phelps?
Well, that's even more distracting right there. I mean, he upped the ante. I thought it couldn't get better than the first one, but now all of a sudden, the second one, and Phelps said after the game, Bomani, that he made eye contact with the free throw shooter. He thinks he psyched him out.
Let me ask you a serious question about that free throw shooter. You think he knows who Michael Phelps is? Like, I mean, it's actually been quite a while since Michael Phelps, actually mattered. You think from that far away that dude knew who Michael Phelps was?
I don't know if it actually worked.
I mean, this is just a thought, because it's kind of lame that Michael Phelps has to keep doing these things, because nobody really knows who Michael Phelps is anymore. Are you sure that free throw shooter knows who Michael Phelps is?
You think the gold medals were around his neck to identify who it is Michael Phelps was?
Do you think that young man was watching all the swimming and cares about Michael Phelps? Just because you care about Michael Phelps doesn't mean anything about him.
I think that he just got out of a cold swimming pool.
Oh, that's not nice, Dad. Dad!
Do you believe the accusations that Russell Wilson just Google how to describe a beautiful woman and copy it?
This is pretty bad. This is an unspeakably lame look here. Look at on Twitter how it is that he describes, I kissed her and she had honey sweet lips that were lilac soft with a loving and affectionate personality, which sounds romantic enough until you just Google search how to describe a beautiful woman, and that's what comes up. It's not surprising that RoboQB would copy and paste his way to romance. I just can't tell you how lame that is, Bomani. Unspeakably, undeniably lame.
Yeah, you typically got to get your own game if you're going to do this sort of thing, but it was funny. I'm doing my radio show, we're laughing at Russell Wilson, and at the same time, Russell Wilson is on Twitter handling this situation the way only Russell Wilson would by saying, I didn't Google it, I use Bing, because he's a Microsoft spokesman. This is the dude that we've got here. See, the change that Sierra made from your man Future to this dude.
Oh, no. Yeah.
How big? Yeah. At least Future would have wrote his own song for you.
Yeah.
I love you like I love all those drugs. That would have been there for you.
No.
You know, if you're going to say something nice to your lady, you got to be original. This is what I would have to say. Your eyes are beautiful. Your lips are like the honey. You know, your walk is like the walk that makes a man mad. You know, and
what?
Your dancing is terrific. I love you with all my heart.
So which walk is the one that makes a man mad?
I don't understand. What kind of romance is that? I think Russell Wilson did it better than my father. How did you conquer Mom?
Hey, there is only one person at this table who is married, okay? So look, you guys know too much, you know,
Right,
about
true.
love and all that, but you're still, you know, unmarried, single.
Your wife doesn't even know how this happened. I've asked her.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, we talk to Jeff Schwartz.
Give me the guy who, if you had an eating challenge with, you would certainly lose. The guy you've played with, the guy you've eaten with.
I'll tell you what, my brother, when he wants to be really, really fat, he can be extremely fat.
Joining us at the beach today is Jeff Schwartz.
All right, offensive lineman for the New York Giants, loves his food. He's a guest columnist at Delish.com. He's also got an Uber Eats code, so if anybody ever likes to join him enjoying great food sometime, use NYG74Eats.
Let's change clothes. Jeff, your younger brother plays for the Browns, 3 years younger than you. You've got to have some great story about punching him punching you, a memorable family fight. What do you got for us?
We weren't big fighters, but the one thing we did, we played this game called Squish. So what we would do is we would be in our knees in our bedroom, and we would try to, like, get through the door jamb with a football. So whoever would win could squish their way through the door jamb. So we would play that game. We played it so much that, in fact, the fan over the family room fell down because we were pounding so much in the bedroom. Like, it literally fell through the ceiling onto the floor.
How'd that go over with the parental unit, though, when the ceiling fan comes crashing through?
That was the last time we ever played in the house. I think we were probably
Right.
we were probably 13 and 10, 13 and 11 maybe. So I mean, we were kind of too big. I was 6'3" at 13, so we were probably too big to be playing in the house anyways.
Well, you say you can eat with the best of them. Give me the guy who, if you had an eating challenge with, you would certainly lose. The guy you've played with, the guy you've eaten with.
I'll tell you what, my brother, when he wants to be really, really fat, he can be extremely fat. We went out to eat, and he had sushi. He was training for the combine. I went to Nashville to visit him. He had 9 full sushi rolls, 2 hand rolls, and some sashimi. That's a lot. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of food. The most sushi I've ever had, I was in high school. There was an all-you-can-eat sushi place. I think I had 80 pieces of sushi. So that 9 rolls is almost more than that.
Okay, so after the 80th piece of sushi, did you walk out, or did they tell you that you had to leave?
I walked out. I mean, it was the best deal ever. It was $12.95 for lunch. It was about 3 miles from the house. We went there all the time, and the day it closed was so sad. My brother and I walked to the door. It had like a toe-eye closed.
You
and
closed
we were just so depressed.
Yeah,
That's what I was about to say. The day they
was.
closed. Yeah, I mean, $12 and you two walk in. I can't believe they kept letting you come.
Unbelievable.
We crushed it. I mean, this is way back. I mean, I go to sushi now, and I barely have 2 rolls. I mean, I order a lot of other stuff, but I mean, the rice, 9 rolls is a lot.
Is it true that the first time you met your now wife, your way of introduction was, I'm Jeff, I play for the Panthers?
Yeah, possibly.
Really?
I mean,
really, dude?
I mean, I thought it was cool back then. I probably wouldn't do that now, but I mean, I was 21. I was at the bar. I just got drafted by the Panthers. I'm 3,000 miles from home. I thought it was cool, man. She didn't care at all. That's the one thing is, like, she did not care one bit. For 3 weeks, she wouldn't go out with me because she thought I was lying to her. There's a lot of things you say when you're 21 that you're ashamed about. Come on.
But how often did you use that line? Like how? Like that was it?
Well, when I was like, I used the NFL line for probably like 3 years, just in general. Like not just to my. I mean, we met really early, and when I got to Carolina, but like saying I play in the NFL, I used it in Vegas. I used it in LA to try to go out to certain places. And then I realized no one really cares, really, unless you're a star. I mean. This does not. You should make a call beforehand, before you get there, to wield your power.
How does being Jewish fit in the locker room? Guys talk about everything. What happens in the locker room being Jewish?
Oh, you get the jokes, the cheap jokes, the frugal stuff. I love it. I think it's funny. I play into it. I mean, I'm Jewish. I'm a little frugal sometimes. Guys get after me for that. I got no problem with it. We have good dialogue sometimes about religion. I mean, that's more on the serious side. But, yeah, I mean, it's a locker room. You're going to have jokes. You can't be sensitive. I'm okay with that. I dish it back, too. So it's really not a big deal, for me to deal with it.
And how does it go when you've got, guys who are – because you're the one who's lonely in there. When you've got you're surrounded by guys who are loudly of a different faith.
Yeah. It's really not a big deal. We do, the Lord's Prayer before the game, and I take a knee respectfully, and I don't say it. I mean, it's not a big deal. Guys don't bother me about it. I think pretty much everyone is open to, everyone having their own beliefs. I've never had an issue with it in any locker room. I do get questions from time to time about Judaism, but they're not terribly serious. And guys, sometimes guys just want to know about Judaism, and I try to explain as best I can.
Jeff, Poppy wants a shot at you. Go ahead, Poppy.
Jeff, the most outrageous thing you have seen or felt in a football pile?
Oh, in a fumble pile. What do you got for us? Yeah.
I have been punched in the groin once in college, but that was not in a fumble.
Wait a minute. That's what my father wanted. That's what my father wanted. He wanted that story.
It just came up right. I just thought about it. I don't think about
groin
strikes all the time.
What happened?
So we were playing Houston. And it was I pancaked the guy into the end zone for a touchdown, and he tried to hit me in the groin. He missed. I punched him, and then Then my coach saw it on film, and I had to roll 200 yards as punishment.
Oh,
it was miserable.
Oh my God!
And we had chicken that day. The chicken just came up. It was bad.
Chip Kelly did that to you, or Chip? That was Chip Kelly?
Chip. No, this is my offensive line coach. This is before Chip got there. But he missed, thankfully. I've never been in the groin.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate the time.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Take care.
Ben Bricks is way too hot. You need to cut it. Your price is way too high. You need to cut it. 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 Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that will give you unimaginable pleasure. Do you question?
That's what it says on the box. You give us topics and events, and we question them.
Do you question if this kid is a future rocket scientist?
No, he's not. Right.
Right. Not if you're in this segment of the show. Never in this segment of the show are you the future
Unless
rocket
he's
scientist.
messing with a Rubik's Cube. We sometimes have those kids.
Let's see.
He's not going to hurt himself, is he?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
This doesn't come with brakes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no. He thought if he came running, the momentum.
He didn't bet on getting tired halfway there.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Don't worry.
He's going to have to go back. The next time he's going to run from 2 miles. Well, if I run a little further back, it'll go higher.
His parents, by the way, should be ashamed of themselves. They knew how that was going to go, but somebody sat there with the camera anyway.
Do you question whether this marriage will last?
Oh, in this portion of the show, it's usually disasters and fires and explosions. Let's see what we've got at the beginning of this marriage. Oh, she's lighting his hair on fire.
Whoa.
And he does not know, and she did not tell him. What
I mean,
was that?
it's got to be over right now, right?
No, look, he doesn't know what happened. Wait a minute, he's on to her. He's on to her late.
He figured it out. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's a wrap right there. Right? Maybe she could come home, but I'm not going to be there when she does. We cannot sleep in the same bed after you try to set my hair on fire.
Hold on a second. Can I see that again real quick? Did he notice that his hair was on fire from the smell before he noticed it from the feeling of fire on the back of his head?
It appears to be the case.
Oh, my gosh. And she is just such a relaxed arsonist.
Like, she's trying to pretend like it wasn't her.
Yes, well, he's not sure it's her at the beginning. And then then he realized, well, it's not this bald guy over here. He didn't do it.
But see, he's not Stretch Armstrong.
There were no other options.
But money, you're safe. That will never happen to you.
You think that's so funny?
No, I don't think it's funny.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't say it was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was
You just
funny.
keep pointing like people don't know who Bomani is.
Time to play the game that likes pain. See? Oh, no.
Tell us what's on television tonight. He's always intrigued.
Saturday on ESPN, #1 Oklahoma against LSU.
Yeah, of course. This is the two biggest stars in college basketball, right? Ben Simmons against Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is a scorer from long range. He can do it. Let's see some Buddy Hield highlights against Texas Tech here. See, he can do that from far away. And here's Buddy Hield. He's got, the ability to handle the ball, too. You don't see very much of that in college basketball, do you, Bomani? A guy who just makes threes like that and can create his own shot? Bomani, are you intrigued?
I am intrigued, though I have to admit that there's a tendency to compare Buddy Hield to Stephen Curry, but he also might be the Jimmer, if you were allowed to make those kinds of comparisons.
Yeah, you can't do that, though. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because everybody's talking about these two superstars, Simmons and Haley. But I'm telling you something. There is a guy there by the name of Brandon Edelstone. You know, that is a junior that's playing 5 games. He hasn't scored a point at all. You know, not even a point. And he's an accounting major and he's a Heat fan. But tonight he's going to break the ice. He's going to go for broke tonight. He's going to have a hell of a game. Brandon Edelstone, a name that you'll never forget.
Brandon Edelson, a name he did not know 45 seconds
They
ago.
play tomorrow. They don't play tonight. And how do you get Edelston right and Hield wrong?
Saturday on ABC, Spurs at Cavs.
These are some good Saturday night games they're giving us here. Here is a highlight of a kid getting very excited about what J.R. Smith and LeBron James do together. Oh, where's the kid being excited? That used to be my father right there. When that was Dwayne Wade to LeBron James, that used to be Poppy in a too-tight jersey. Look at him. Listen to him snickering under his breath. Poppy, or Bomani, are you intrigued?
I am intrigued, and good job to that kid's parents, because that jersey might have once been set on fire, and they somehow found a way to restore it and get it back good as new. Like all that other stuff never even happened.
Never mind. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because I got a message for that kid. You better enjoy that play from LeBron and J.R. Smith because it ain't going to happen against the Spurs, but it's going to be the other way around, you know. Popovich lost by about 40 points against Golden State. He ain't about to lose at all against the Cavs, so you enjoy that play.
Very bitter. Continues to be bitter.
A little salty.
On ESPN this weekend, the Australian Open Finals.
Yeah, of course. Djokovic and Murray, and then Serena against whoever it is she's going to demolish. Here's how we break it down, though. Yesterday we did it with close talker Jim Courier, and today we break it down with stretching. This is how we do it around here. Look at the flexible tennis stretcher person. Djokovic stretches 3 hours a day, but he's got nothing on this guy. And that concludes my Australian Open coverage right there. That's where I finish it. Right there. Excellent work by our show. Yes, triumph. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I'm not intrigued by anything anymore. Like my ability to be intrigued by things just went away.
Right.
I don't really have a great explanation for you, but no, I'm not.
It was creepier. It was more creepy than funny. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because it is the Australia Open. I'm going to make my prediction with my Australian accent. Oh, yeah, mate, I'm telling you something. Throw a few shrinks on the barbecue and go to Outback, and have more barbecue in there. Yeah, man, and give me a kangaroo to ride around. It's going to be Serena and Djokovic is going to be the winners.
All right. My father just threw a couple of psychiatrists on a barbecue.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Have a good weekend. We do appreciate you watching.
Gracias. See you el lunes.
Djokovic is from Serbia, Poppy. Why don't you do your Serbian accent? What does that sound like? Yeah.
Go to the table now.
That's not what are you saying?
I don't know. Something good. That's Russian, no?
What are you saying? I don't know.